Hello, everybody. Welcome to Now and Them. I'm your host, Julia Silverberg, and I'm joined by my incredible co-host, Andres Medina. This is our live show that we do every single month where we like to bring you guys behind the keyboard to share breaking news, tips, tools, bring on amazing guests like the one we have for you guys today, and just have a lot of fun. Our goal is to be a voice and a sounding board for social media account managers. We want you to think of us as your friend that's always here to remind you that you're not alone in the wild and ever-changing world that is social media. So, Andreas, are you excited for this month's show?
Oh, yes. I'm excited because honestly, the topic that we're covering today about LinkedIn, I don't use LinkedIn that much, but the very few times that I actually go in to like take a deep dive on what's happening, I stay for a while. So I'm excited to see what Judy has to offer for us today.
I am so excited too, you guys. We are going to be bringing on the incredible Judy Fox. We're going to dive into all things LinkedIn. She's going to share how you guys can position yourself as an expert, really share your leadership, your thoughts, and also build relationships on the platform. So we're going to dive into all of that. But before we do, we're going to share some important social media news. Oops, Andreas.
Yes, I was muted. I'm right now. Sorry about that. Technical issues happening here. I had to mute myself while you were talking because my fan is going so quickly. I did not know if it was going to interrupt you. So I don't know if you can hear it now, but let's dive into the news. So the very first news article that we have to cover today is about Meta. They're testing new avatar. I need to get better at saying that. They're testing new avatar reactions on Instagram stories. So we all know that the key element for Meta is the whole metaverse. That's like their actual mission now. And how do you present yourself in the metaverse? It's with an avatar. But Meta is working for ways to like introduce this to non-VR users. So they're implementing stories, and I feel like this is going to look similar to what Snapchat has going with Bitmojis, and like how you can see the map and the Bitmojis, they'll have different reactions. So this is how I feel it's going to look at on Instagram, but I'm excited. I've been in the virtual reality world, and I want to dive into the like non-VR mixed with the VR. You know what I mean, like the avatars, all thingies. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out for Instagram.
Totally. I like your comparison to the Bitmojis. I feel like that's spot on. I haven't done too much with VR, but I'm just excited. I mean, we're going to be diving into that, you guys, a lot more and what the opportunities are for your business on June 15th and 16th at Social Media Week Lima. We're going to talk a little bit more about it later. But if you guys want to be able to know more about VR, you definitely don't want to miss the conference. It is coming up very soon. And our next news story is all about LinkedIn. LinkedIn recently shared some new insights that they have into the rise of remote job postings. So the top industries that they shared in terms of growth for remote jobs is technology and information, education, administrative and support services, professional services, financial services, and consumer services. So basically all across the board, there are so many different industries that are really leaning into remote work and hiring remote teams. I mean, Andreas is in Puerto Rico right now. I'm in Buffalo, New York. Our team is in Lima, Ohio. So our team definitely utilizes remote work. I'm super curious, you guys. Let us know in the comments if you're watching. Do you work remotely? Do you work from home? Do you kind of do a combo? I'm super curious because I know that this is a major benefit that so many people are looking for. I mean, I I wouldn't be able to work for Now Marketing Group if not for remote work. You know, my job pool, like my pool for employers and Now's pool for employees would be so much smaller without this. So I just think it is incredible. Andres, I want to know what you think.
Um, I mean, I work remotely, so I love working remotely, but I feel like a lot of employers are not yet in that level of confidence, I guess, or trust with their employees or team. And I feel like for remote workers, you need to have much more discipline than a like in office worker, because you're in control. Like, you need to be honest with your time, and it's gonna reflect on your work if you're not. And this is where employers need to like trust their employees for a bit and see how it turns out for them. And it's gonna keep growing. Um, Big companies, Google, Meta, they're all implementing remote work. I mean, most of them are remote already. They only have so many few out of their general employees amount on their headquarters. So I'm excited to see how many companies, like small businesses, are going to implement remote work.
And I love Jacqueline's comment here about how we used to be hybrid as a team. I mean, one of the things, Andreas, that I also love that you said is it is so important for this to work out. You have to have a trusting team. You have to know that you can really rely on your team. You know that they're going to get their work done. You know that they know what their responsibilities are. And I mean, I think that that's just such a thing that speaks to the culture of an organization, right? The culture has to be there and it has to fit for remote work to really work. So why don't you take us into our next news story?
All right, next news story about one of the fastest platform rising right now, TikTok. So social media managers can now post to TikTok from their favorite social media management tool. So what does this mean? I believe that I read on the article that there are these new integrations will provide insights on how to optimize your content on TikTok. TikTok's way of saying like, businesses, come in, use us. We're gonna give you the tools. So I'm excited to see if you're scrolling through TikTok. I'm excited to see if you can tell the difference between a business post or an influencer post, which I'm sure you will. But I just want to see how it's going to look on the feeds and how the algorithm is going to feed this into like the users.
Totally. I'm super excited because I think just this move by TikTok is really just going to allow more brands to integrate TikTok into their social media strategy. And the easier you make it for social media managers to publish content to your platform, the more content you're going to get on your platform. You know, it's like you're an account manager, you know that you're constantly jumping from one place to the next. So if you can schedule one piece of content on a few different pieces, like on a few different channels at once, it makes your job easier and then you're more likely to do it. So
yeah, not just that, like you can also like track comments in just one platform across like all different platforms. So
yeah,
just tracking all the activity on all your different social media platforms becomes easier for everyone.
exactly. And the easier it is, the better, because then you can spend more time creating the content. So our next two news stories that we have, yes, exactly. We're waiting for Agorapulse to be added to that list.
Yes.
So the next two news stories we have are all about Google. So the first story, and Andreas will share the second one. The first is Google rolled out a new core update for search. And what this means is it's going to change the way that some sites are listed in search results pages. Google said that core updates are changes that they make to improve search overall and to keep pace with the changing nature of the web. While nothing in a core update is specific to any particular site, the updates might produce noticeable changes to how sites perform. So essentially, you're going to need your web developer or your SEO person to make sure that they are not only aware of this core update, but doing whatever is needed to make sure that your site is still optimized and performing really well, because the speed of your site, the usability, all of that is going to really play into how well your SEO is. And your SEO is huge if you want to be found by people online. So this is a major update that you definitely want to make sure that you discuss with your web team.
Yeah, and moving on to like the second Google update, and this is an email I received. I rarely see promotional emails, but I did take a peek on this one from Google because it said Google My Business. I'm like, ooh, Google My Business, what's the next update? And newsflash, in July 2022, the Google My Business phone app is going away. And you'll now have to manage your business from the Maps app if you want to manage it on your phone. The website, obviously, you just log in and manage your account from there. But yeah, inviting all users or all account managers that use Google My Business to download the Google Maps app and make sure that it's all set up before Google My Business goes away. All the messages, reviews, locate hour changes, they will now have to be updated to the Google Maps app.
Cool. That is a really important update too. Yeah. Bye-bye GMB app. So it's time to do some shout outs, I think. So before we bring the amazing Judy Fox on, you know that we love to shine a light, give some shout outs, spread the love. We want to know if you guys are celebrating anything, looking forward to anything. We are very much looking forward to something, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But before I do, this month we have to shout out Nate, Brian, and Kara, because all three of them are celebrating their birthdays this month. So shout out to you three. You guys are amazing. And all three of them, including Andreas and I, and Jessica and Jacqueline and Tater Bucket, and literally everyone else on the team, we've all been hard at work preparing for Social Media Week Lima. You guys, we are so excited. June 15th and 16th. It is our 2-day conference. We are going to laugh, learn, network, build relationships, and really dive into the power of co-creation. That is the theme for this year, and we are so excited. We have an incredible sponsor lineup. Oh, you're very sweet. Shout out, JJ. My birthday was last weekend, but also Jacqueline's birthday was too. So shout out back to you. Andres, how excited are you for Lima?
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see everyone and meet more people because, I mean, back in January when we attended the Social Media Marketing World, I got to meet a lot of people that I admire, including like Judy. I had the opportunity to meet her as well. And I can't wait to see some new faces and people that I follow in person.
Yeah, it is going to be incredible. And not only is Judy going to join us in just a minute here, but Judy is going to be one of the speakers at Social Media Week Lima. So rather than me just tell you about it, why don't you guys get to see the magic?
Social Media Week Lima. I am so excited. Your message is bigger than your product. What are they connecting with about us as a brand? What is our message that they're aligning with?
Absolutely love it. I've walked away with so many great ideas.
By far, the best run event that I've been to.
That's the key. Focusing on the people that you've already won, that already love you, and just empower them to want to do more.
Events like this really give us the opportunity to come together, to meet, to make connections, to build relationships that we can take forward and use 365 days a year.
Oh, y'all, I hate boring. It is my goal in life to make sure that y'all leave here with a plan.
We can't tell stories that matter until we understand that consumer. We understand how they feel. We need to care about each other. We need to care about our consumers, and we need to show we care in everything that we do.
Hey, yeah.
You are worthy of the challenge of being an entrepreneur. You are worthy of making the world a better place.
Yay! We are so excited for Social Media Week Lima and so excited to be joined by the amazing Judy Fox, who Chad is going to bring here in just a minute. Hi, Judy.
Hello. That was a fast minute.
It was a really fast minute. It was more of a blink. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining us. I am so excited to dive in. We've got a bunch of questions for you, and we're going to play some games with you too. But before I dive into the questions, I want to give you a little introduction because you guys, Judy is quite impressive. She is listed as a top 10 LinkedIn coach for 2021 in Yahoo Finance. She's featured in Inc. Magazine, CEO Magazine, Vid Summit, Social Media Marketing World, Agora Pulse, Social Pulse Summit, Video Marketing World, People of Video, and on several top 100 marketing podcasts. With over 18 years of experience in business development and sales, Judy developed the LinkedIn Business Accelerator method. Clients are implementing this LinkedIn method to achieve more business and over 1 million content views in 90 days. So Judy, thank you for being here. I want you to tell us a little bit about how you got started doing all of this incredible work that you do.
Wow, where do I start?
In the beginning.
Oh, I would say that I originally started out of pain. I started because I needed a job. I lost my job during the economic crisis of 2008, 2009, and realized that I needed access to a tool and a platform that would help me get another job, figure out what was the next step in my career. And all eyes were on LinkedIn as the number one place to go to network. And now that I've spent a lot of time there. So I will tell you, my goal at first was connect with 2 people per day.
Okay.
Love
and
that.
The power of compounding connections has now led to today having over 45,000 connections plus. So,
wow.
Yes, I never would have known that would have just amplified everything and taken my career the way that it went.
I love that. Wow. You guys, that's already such a good nugget. Like, it's so easy, I think, to get so overwhelmed on social media and like, oh, I have to follow everyone or connect with everyone. If you focus on the quality and just keep it simple and do something that you can be consistent in over time, you're able to do what Judy did, which is establish over 40,000 connections. That is unbelievable. So tell me, like, what's your why? What is the why behind the work you do?
What is the why? I think the biggest things that drive me is probably the fact that I believe in sustainability. And to me, sustainability always comes back to people. We're our most sustainable asset, I think, on this entire planet and Earth, because we're the things that make the world go round. We're the innovators, the potential for what could be created and what could exist on this planet. So whenever you can make great people connect in a space, like we're all talking right now and we're connecting over a topic, we're going to all learn something. Like I've already learned something. I've already even just watching this live stream and the creation and production of it is learning. So I guess the why is being more connected in a way that just levels up the next person after us. Like I think about my kid. He's 10 years old, and some of what I build and create right now is because I know I want him to have access to some of the things that I've learned when he gets older.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. So what would you say is, you talked about connecting with 2 people a day. What's your top tip if someone is looking to create more connections or drive more engagement on LinkedIn?
Well, I love speaking in quotes. And if you want to get something, be willing to go give that something. So if you want to get more engagement, go give more engagement. Now, don't just throw up any old like and comment. You would want to go give engagement on people that you either know or that you are reciprocal with. For example, I may not pick a huge influencer with 10 million followers. They may never see my like and comment. but I'm definitely going to jump onto Now Marketing Group, and I'm going to comment and engage with a community of people that will reply. A community will be reciprocal.
That's a great.
You like the
great
shout
point.
out? Now Marketing Group.
I do love the shout out. It's funny. Sometimes I am commenting as myself, Julia, on the Now stuff, and then I'm responding to myself as Now, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm having full blown conversations. It's just me, but it looks like there are a lot of people in it because sometimes I'm chiming in from Social Media Week Lima.
No, I love it. And I also really like that you sometimes throw up your initials too. So that way we know, even though you're here with Now Marketing Group, I think the power of you putting the initials really speaks to the fact that if you do have a team that's working on anything across social media, I think it's really cool to have even a micro moment of knowing, oh, that's Julia. Oh, because we all know that there's human beings behind all these brands. And that's probably why, again, I love Jessica and I love Social Media Week Lima, because it's about relationships. And that's why I'm going to spend a big chunk of time there, because relationships is what it really comes down to, especially after the pandemic too. Wanting to spend time in person becomes even more special. I don't know. So
I fully agree with that. So I know that Andreas has a few questions that he's excited to ask you, but before he does, I want to know, do you have a favorite feature or functionality on LinkedIn?
All of them. My favorite. I will say that the energy that LinkedIn's putting into the featured section on the profile is really, really blowing my mind. Number one, the fact that you can feature your newsletter and have a subscribe button right on your profile now. So I've been able to grow subscribers by hundreds of subscribers without doing anything. It's just passively, people see your profile, LinkedIn is featuring and giving a button to click on right there on your profile.
Yep.
Awesome.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. And I like that LinkedIn's, like, each week I'm noticing LinkedIn leveling up that area. Recently, they gave access to upload your own unique thumbnail for any of those featured items. So you get to control the design and the visual and the branding. So again, every time I go in there, I'm like, what did LinkedIn do?
I'm going to share my favorite feature, Julia, if you don't mind, because I found that interesting. But I like your insights tool. Like, I feel like it's pretty well structured. Like, you can see the breakdown of like job industry, like industry level of like seniority, locations, and there's some like 2 more different filters that you can put on. But I really like how it shows like who visits your profile or who's your audience, and break it down that way. I feel like on an analytics side, I think it's amazing. Out of like all the social media platforms, I feel like they have one of the best insights tool. But yeah, Judy, I do have some questions for you. Don't worry, there's not that many of them. But the first one, how would you say the best practices vary for brands and individuals on LinkedIn? Did you hear? Oh, we lost her.
Oh, we lost her for a quick second.
She didn't want to answer my question, everyone.
No, Andres, don't take it personally. See?
I think I froze.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I think I froze with a smile on my face. So
I think it was your thinking face. You were like,
oh, nice. Well, at least we figured it out.
Awesome. Were you able to hear the question?
No.
Did you freeze it for me? No. All right, so I'll ask it again. So, how would you say the best practices vary for brands and individuals on LinkedIn?
I would say we still want to humanize all the brands. So, for example, with brands, you may have more user-generated content, or you may have more behind the scenes stories from the employees or the users of that brand. From a personal profile or somebody that's more an individual company or contributor, you would have maybe more personal stories just about them. Does that make sense how I would think about those? But you're still digging down into the personal. I mean, it doesn't matter either one. We still want to see human beings interacting with whatever is the product or the experience.
Totally. And I've noticed I do have some clients that I manage their personal LinkedIn and their company LinkedIn. And I've noticed that even though it's similar content, the personal like profiles get a lot more engagement than the company ones. And I feel like that's the reason behind it, because people want to like talk to the individual, and not many people have a face on a company, you know, like and we talked about this on, actually no, we did not talk about this. This was a training I took earlier this past month, and it's not a show. But yeah, I feel like personal brands are easier to grow, but company profiles should always be present on the platform, especially if you're running job ads or trying to find new prospects. My second question is, how do you use LinkedIn to create closer relationships without being creepy? Because I know there's a lot of creepy people in the world.
I would say one of my favorite things that I like to say is public conversations convert to private conversations. So trying to start from a private direct message does sometimes come across as creepy. But if you start from a public conversation, then we move to why there's a reason for us to have a private conversation. We can either start by talking about the content that was posted. We have something to launch off of, and we have a conversation that makes way more sense. So building relationships that way is more powerful. And then if we think about it, all that time and energy and investment in our content strategy for it to turn into a better conversation, that's the whole point. We wanted that to happen. So go make that happen for other people, because you're rewarding them for what they really want to happen, which is we all want to see a few likes and comments on a live stream, on a video. We're not making content going, oh, I wish 0 people would see that. So we pretty much always want someone to see something.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So my next question, I like your answer on that one, but my next question, we're good on time. Do you have any LinkedIn role model? I know a lot of people follow you. They see you as a role model, but I would like to know, who is your role model for LinkedIn?
So I really resonate and follow a few people. One is Michaela Alexis. I have been inspired by her journey and watching how she really, really builds strong relationships on LinkedIn. I know AJ Wilcox. He blows my mind when it comes to LinkedIn ads. If somebody says, Judy, hey, I want to run some LinkedIn ads, I'm like, AJ, go to AJ. I'm trying to think. I mean, I know Brian Wallace, for example, running Now Sourcing. He has been very inspiring to just see how maybe a visual digital company is using the platform. And then Andy Crestodina is someone I've been very inspired by, because he has the newsletter on LinkedIn called Digital Marketing Tips. And I'm just blown away by the fact that he has 134,000 subscribers and growing. And he's doing an amazing job of taking the blog content and repurposing it on LinkedIn, which is working smarter, not harder.
I love that.
I'm going to follow all of them today.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
And you guys, before Andreas finishes with his questions, if you guys are loving everything that Judy is sharing, because she is dropping so many value bombs, I am like furiously typing up things that I am not wanting to forget from this conversation. And we're going to be recapping all of it in a blog post that we will publish next week. So be sure to type the word recap in the comments. It'll trigger a chatbot sequence so that you can make sure you're subscribed to our blog.
I'll make sure to share that blog on LinkedIn. All right. So my very last question, not first. I'm sorry. My very last question before we jump into the game time. If someone were just getting started with content creation today on LinkedIn, what would your advice be to them?
First, follow all of us. And
yes, I like that.
Yes.
Please take note, everyone.
I would say that one of the easiest beginning ways to get started on LinkedIn and to make the first post is to literally just tell people, I'm getting started here on LinkedIn. Who do you suggest I connect with? Or what do you recommend? The LinkedIn platform wants to come in and say, oh my gosh, so excited you're here. Because instead of just kind of talking at the platform wants to be talked with. And we're having a networking party on LinkedIn. Can you imagine joining the networking party and just being like, here, promo, here, this? That's talking at us. Instead, join the party, join the conversation, kind of be like, hey, does anyone want to give me the lay of the land of this networking party? That's the kind of post you can open up with. And I tell you every single time that post is very successful because the platform loves welcoming new networking people who are excited to use the platform.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I love that.
Great advices, yeah.
And if you've taken a break and you're not new to LinkedIn, you can just say, hey, I took a couple years off from posting so much. So there's always a chance. I mean, I could say, hey, I haven't posted in a month. What's going on here, guys? So definitely
be social, I guess. Like that's the whole that's the whole message behind social media, but that's the way to grow, I guess, building relationships.
Yeah, and it's almost like asking for help without saying, hey, I need your help. You're being more specific and saying, I'd love to hear XYZ. Ask the community to show up for you. And then if you show back up for them, that's that reciprocal energy that the platform loves.
Exactly. That is such good advice. So Judy, Andreas, are you guys ready to play some games?
I'm ready. I need to put on my fox ears for games.
Okay, we are going to play our favorite game. It is called This or That, and it is a rapid fire question game. So I'm going to give you two options, and you're going to tell me what you'd prefer, this or that.
I'm nervous,
as you should be. I like to create a little bit. I like to create a little bit of nerves, but not too much. So we're going to start off super simple. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Okay. The next this or that. Would you rather always be freezing or always be sweating?
I'm used to always freezing, so I'll just stick with what I know. Freezing.
Me too. Me too, for sure. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Locked and loaded. Would you rather have a dog that talks or be able to fly?
Wait, do I fly or the dog flies?
You fly.
I would want to fly. I'm going for flying.
Really? Oh my God, I'd rather Gouda talk to me.
Aww.
All day, every day.
I'm nervous what my dog would say, so I'm going to still stick with flying. It'd be treat.
That is good. Would you rather have an extra arm or an extra leg?
An extra arm. That's tougher.
I also would rather have an extra arm.
I'm going for extra arm.
Okay, so now we've got a few other questions. Andres is going to kick it off, though, for us.
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about extra arm or extra legs.
Andres, now you have to answer.
All right, so I'm going to ask some get-to-know-you questions. What's your fondest childhood memory?
Wow, do I have any? I'm just kidding. I guess the one that pops into mind is creating a fake radio show and pretending I was a DJ when I was around 10 years old.
10-year-old DJ.
So I wanted to be a DJ of a radio show, and I'm ready. I'm ready anytime.
Oh, sweet. All right, so
you're like kind of doing that in a you know, in a different way. I love that.
I agree. My dreams did come true.
Everyone's dream comes true if you work hard enough. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So second question: Who do you look up to the most, and why?
Who do I look up to the most? I don't know that. Oh, I don't know. I look up to sometimes.
I have a flow chart.
Yeah, thank you for that. I guess the biggest thing I would say is I don't know if I know who I would look up to the most, but I have a quote wall that I make sure that I keep quotes at the top of my mind. So some of those quotes are by Walt Disney, or they're by Maya Angelou, or they've got a different, range of authors that I just read those quotes on a regular basis to keep some ideas top of mind.
I love that.
And if you need me to quote some, I can start quoting. Yes.
I love that. That's great. So I am going to ask Andreas a few questions, and then I've got a few questions for you, Judy. So Andreas, what is your go-to song for karaoke?
I'm terrible at karaoke.
Me too. And it's like a huge fear of mine, and I feel like it's going to be happening at Lima, so I'm trying to prepare.
Yeah, if it's in Lima, I'm singing Tequila because that's still the whole lyric of the song. Tequila!
That's a cop-out song. That's not really singing. That's just like yelling, but that's fair. I mean, your answer is your answer, but
if I were to sing here in Puerto Rico, like somewhere in Puerto Rico, I'll probably sing Moscow Mule by Bad Bunny because that song is just stuck in my head, and I know the lyrics eyes closed, so I don't even need the lyrics on the screen. I'll sing it in my head.
Yeah, you guys, let us know in the comments, what is your go-to karaoke song? Please help inspire some ideas for me for Lima. I saw Joanna sing Country Roads last year. Ooh, Love Fool. That's fun. Joanna, maybe Joanna can sing with me and help to ease my nerves a little bit. Maybe we can make that happen.
Let's have everyone in the comments vote which song I should sing in the karaoke in Social Media Week Lima, because I only have 12 days to learn it probably.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna sing it, and it's gonna be recorded. It's gonna be published somewhere in our social media platforms.
Okay, it's happening. Joanna and I are gonna do a duet at Social Media Week Lima, so you guys can. I'm gonna get over my fear. So I'm super excited. Okay, so Andreas, my next question for you before I have some more questions for Judy. What is your favorite pair of sneakers right now? I kind of know the answer. I just want, if they're close by, I want you to show everyone.
Yeah, they're actually close by. I don't have them.
You guys, speaking of sneakers, Andreas has a horror story where he ordered a new pair of sneakers and they sent him 2 lefts. So if that has ever happened to you, I've never heard of that before. So if that's happened to you, also pop that in the comments because I need to know that.
After I got that order, those were my favorite pair of sneakers. Till I received these beautiful sneakers that I ordered for the stage at Social Media Week Lima. And here they are. There's some Jordan Retro 1 Low Eastern Bunny edition. I'm trying to show the colors, but
they're so cool.
There it is. There you go.
Gosh.
I just love the color. I'm extra. I'm just extra,
I'm here for the extraness. I love it so much. Okay, so Judy, I have a question for you. What is your favorite thing about the summer?
Being able to travel and go on vacation with my kid. So, having a 4th grader, I look forward to the summer so we can have some vacation time. So
that is so nice.
Yes, and I don't have sneakers for Social Media Week, Lima, but I will be bringing my slippers.
Heck yes. I am definitely going to be bringing some sneakers, but also, I mean, you guys should see some of the women, your ability to walk in heels for hours on end. I have to like hats off because I am not that girl and I never will be. And I'm a hardcore. I'm going to wear like a classic pair of white sneakers, probably in some different form every single day of the conference. That's my favorite thing about summer.
So who here thinks I need to wear, or at least bring and wear my Fox onesie? I have one of those Fox onesies.
Yes.
Okay. I figured you would say yes.
that needs to happen. If not just for you to bring it to the conference center and get some like epic photos in the photo booth, you got to make that happen. We're going to make that happen for sure.
It's so comfy, but I am going to rock that onesie.
I love that so much. So I've got a little bit of a deep question. What is something that your parents taught you that you have had to unlearn as an adult? And if you need a few minutes to think about it, let me know. And I can kind of share one of mine. I can go first.
Yeah, go share. Yeah.
So something that I think my parents taught me was my parents put a lot of weight into like how long you've known someone. And something that I have had to unlearn is just because you've known someone for a very long time doesn't necessarily mean that much other than you've known them for a long time. So that doesn't necessarily mean just because you've known someone for a long time, you have to stay friends with them if the friendship still isn't really working out. Just because you've known someone for a very long time doesn't mean that you need to necessarily like extend yourself in ways that you wouldn't for other people. And I think that was something that the more that I've become an adult, the more I've realized I have some of my best friends that I've only known for a few years. So that's my answer to the question.
I am going to go with that is a good answer. And that makes a lot of sense, especially when you think through different generations. I would say mine is probably a generational thing that has changed in the world is I just think they want the brick and mortar kind of, you're going to work in an office or cubicle kind of thing where that is a job. I don't know if they even understand what I do and how I make money and how the internet makes people money. So I think it's generational, but I definitely think just unlearning the idea that stability comes with a cubicle.
Yes.
Job is required to sit in a cubicle. So
I love that answer so much. I really love that. And you guys, if you have something that you feel like you have kind of unlearned that your parents taught you, I would love to know. So share that in the comments too. And my last question for you, Judy, is if you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, wow. I'm going to take this one very seriously.
I would too. And this can be a choose your own adventure situation. You could this could be a meal or it could be like a one food item. I'm going to let you do.
Oh, you're giving me too many choices now.
Well, it's like it could just be like potatoes, or it could be like mashed potatoes with, this and that and that. I'll take both answers.
The fact that I am older and I see how what you eat really matters. If I can only eat one thing, it's going to have to be like a really big, yummy salad because it's going to have all my nutrients, some chopped up peppers and cucumbers. And so sorry, I've got to go healthy at this point because
that is the most responsible answer I've ever heard.
I'm going to be like Chinese all day.
Because I'm going to be an amazing, no wrinkles, completely fit 50 or 60 or 70-year-old if all I'm eating is salads. So there you go.
Heck yes. I love it. You might also be very sad, but you will be looking fit.
You didn't. I mean, okay, it has to be a salad with any toppings I want to put on it.
Yes. I mean, I love me a salad with some rice in there, like some kind of grain to really kind of make it like a little more.
You do realize I just opened it up to I can eat anything on top of, as long as it's on top of a salad.
Just going to throw pieces of lasagna on top of the salad.
Ice cream on top of a salad.
Oh, that's so funny. So you guys, I am going to open up a little giveaway for you. If you pop in the comments, really any answer to any of the questions that we've asked, if you just type the word recap, we are going to be picking one winner, but we're not going to announce it until we're at Social Media Week Lima. So we're going to be picking one winner randomly in the comments who is going to win 30 minutes of time with anyone on the Now team. So if you want to talk design with Nate, if you want to talk about short form content with one of our account managers, if you want some help with SEO, you can talk to Angela or John about video. You can pick any single person on the Now team and you will get 30 minutes of time to talk to them, pick their brain, ask questions about your business. So just pop the words recap or just pop anything in the comments because we're going to be picking someone at random to win. So you guys, honestly, Judy, I can't thank you enough for coming on. You shared so many value bombs. I'm excited to put this all together in a recap blog.
Yeah, and I made you all rethink your eating of salad. So there you go.
Exactly. I mean, Judy's encouraging us to be responsible. And I just love what you shared about if you want engagement, you have to go give it. I just think that's such a great nugget for everyone to leave with. If you want to grow your community, it is so important to start actively being a part of other communities that exist. Take the time to comment. Like Judy said, no one is crafting content hoping to get no likes and no comments. So go be a human on social media. And Judy, what would you share as your kind of final takeaway with our audience today?
Well, I got excited and I already made an Instagram story that I didn't realize that LinkedIn Lives on company pages take over the banner. Have you seen that?
No.
So I took a video and it's on my Instagram stories, but basically I took a video of both of you on the banner of the company page of Now Marketing. So I think it's really cool because it turns into a TV on top of your LinkedIn company page.
That is so cool. You guys are going to go, you need to go check out Judy's story if you want to see that in action.
Well, and Now Marketing can share it to their stories too.
Oh, which we will. That's what we will be doing.
But I was all like, oh, I never seen this before. So
that is so cool.
I love when LinkedIn is just updating and creating new opportunities and new features all the time. So get on the platform, hang out with us, and we're having a great networking party over there.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Judy. And you guys, be sure to mark your calendar because we have something special planned for next month. Next month will be episode 10, and we are going to be bringing on the amazing Jessica Phillips. Jessica is going to join us. We are going to do a super fun Social Media Week Lima recap episode, share tons of tips with you guys from all of our amazing speakers, which Judy is one of them. So if you guys want to be sure to tune into that episode, mark your calendar for July 7th. We go live on the first Thursday of every single month at 3:30. So be sure to mark your calendars. And we hope to see you guys in Lima. It's all happening June 15th and 16th. So go to sociallima.com and you can get your tickets. And also mark your calendar because next week on June 7th, we have an awesome Magnet Marketers plan for you guys. Magnet Marketers is Jessica and Mike's live show. We're going to be bringing on a whole bunch of the speakers that we have. So Jessica and Mike will be live next week on Tuesday from 3 until 4:45 p.m. They're bringing on so many speakers. one of which is Chad, who is behind the scenes doing all of the fun things that you guys see here. So you guys aren't going to want to miss that. Chad is our MC for the conference. He's going to be making us laugh and keeping us on our toes like he does every month with Andreas and I here for this show. So we're so excited. Judy, I can't wait to actually hug you in like 2 weeks. This is going to be so fun.
Yay!
So we will see you guys on next month or hopefully in 2 weeks in Lima. So thanks so much for tuning in.